Ebro in the morning, Laura Stiles and Rosenberg
Yep.
introducing Tori Kelly. Give it up for her.
Tori Kelly.
Hi, Tori.
Hi.
We clamored and struggled and emailed and called as soon as we saw the BET Awards.
There wasn't that much struggle. It was just like...
Hey, don't downplay. I was trying to play it up like we worked really hard.
It was instantaneous. It was, hey, Scooter, get us Tori Kelly right now.
Yeah.
Why is she not here yet? Because she killed the BET Awards. Congratulations.
Well, thanks.
was
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I get to talk to you guys.
Was that a big deal? Like, could you tell that you had a good moment when you walked off stage?
It felt like a big moment, yeah, right when I walked off. But what was crazy was I thought it was just going to be like the performance. And I was like, cool, I'm good. And I had to catch a flight actually to get here right after. So I was kind of rushed. And then they're like rushing me off the stage. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're adding like this live hit again. They're like, we want you to go out and just go out there. I was like, what? What do you mean? What am I supposed to do out there? So they were just like, they basically just pushed me out. So,
that was awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I have to be honest. I was like,
weird,
why are
yeah.
they doing that to her? That's weird. Don't do that.
I was like, I'm just gonna smile.
No.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just like.
I did find it crazy though. I was like, wow, she must have really done well because they were just like, we need you back on stage in 30 seconds.
I was telling her, I was like, people watch the BET Awards for just straight slander. So everybody was, I was looking at her like, who is this? And I was like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
She sounds amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Well, there were, and BET did a great job this year of being so involved in social media. So I'm sure they saw the response to your performance and was like, yo, get her back on stage. People want to know more about her. So that's why we got you here, because we didn't know anything about you. And come to find out, talk to us about this voice. Like, have you always, how did you find your voice? Where are you from? Like, give us a story.
Well, I started singing. My parents say since I was like 3, I was humming stuff. And I think they saw it at a really early age. And I just always thought it was like a part of life. Like I walked around in kindergarten thinking everybody sang because I just loved it so much. And it wasn't till I think I was like 6, 7 when I started doing different singing competitions and stuff. And I listened to a lot of gospel music too growing up, and a lot of soul. And I don't know, I fell in love with it really early age. And then fast forward to like 15 is when I actually started writing songs. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm doing this, like no matter what, there's no plan B. And that's when it kind of I had to put my music out.
What's your nationality? What's your background?
Dad is Jamaican and Puerto Rican, and my mom is Irish and German, and probably some other things, but those are like the main.
And you're from?
I'm from Southern California, from like Temecula-ish.
Inland Empire, son.
Yeah.
That's IP, right?
IE.
IE. There you go.
You don't
IP.
I know it's hard for you. I know it's weird stuff. But how do you end up with Jamaican Puerto Rican a father who's Jamaican Puerto Rican who ended up in Inland Empire? That sounds like someone who should be from Brooklyn, like not from Southern California.
I think my grandparents lived out here at some point, and so that my family's just kind of scattered everywhere. But we ended up in SoCal.
And were your parents musicians?
Yeah, both my parents are really musical. My dad sings and he plays bass, and he was in bands like growing up and stuff. And my mom grew up playing piano, so as a kid, we probably had the loudest house on the street, like just music all the time, every genre.
When you walked on stage at the BET Awards, let's start when you were asked to perform at the BET Awards. What went through your mind?
I was stoked. I was probably on a plane, since that's kind of like where I am mostly nowadays. Right now. But I remember wanting to freak out and I couldn't. So I was probably on a plane because it was like, yell on planes, But
good, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
You will get arrested when you land.
Right. No, I mean, I was just honored because I knew, they told me right away I was gonna be a part of the Smokey tribute. So right away I was like, that's not just performing. That's like
serious.
Like I'm honoring like a legend, So I was already geeking out that I was even gonna get to go, let alone perform in front of all those people.
And did they tell you it was with Neo and Robin Thicke also?
No, that I found out like the day before.
Yo.
I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Now, are you prepared for maybe it's something you've already been prepared for, the fact that when you walk into a room like that, people are going to see you and on sight decide that you're the white girl, even though your background is multi-ethnic? Yeah,
I mean, I've gotten that all my life. I think I kind of like being the girl. I guess there people are kind of unsure, like, oh, what race are you?
The underdog a little bit, the kind of
and also like I really don't care what people think I am. I think it's more about the music and and the soulfulness behind it. Like I mean, it shouldn't be about like what race you are, So.
Well, we live in America. It shouldn't be about what race
right.
you are. However, it continues to be too often. I thought that when you walked out on stage, too, I was like, yo, they just threw a random white girl out to do the Smokey Robin voice. I mean, I know Smokey's light skin and everything, but they are going.
They already have Robin Thicke out there.
Well, no, it was before we saw
she was
Robin
first.
Thicke. It was the first thing we saw. I was like, what is happening here? Why would they do this to this person?
Could you feel yourself winning over the crowd? Like, could you tell that you were starting to get them as you were performing?
Yeah, I could kind of feel that. I think people were starting to stand up like before I was even done.
You were fucking
so
killing
it's
it.
Crazy. Thanks.
No, like seriously killing it. Like I was on the couch with my lady. Like we were like, yo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just. And I think that. And this is a piece of like your voice that, hopefully you'll get to showcase more. But I went and I listened to a couple of your records, but the voice that you gave us on the BET Awards was a pure soul voice. Like you gave us the raspy, raw runs and like the whole thing that was like super effortless for you. And when I listen to your music sometime, well, the 2 songs that I've heard, it's effortless too, but I don't really feel like you're giving us everything right away. Like you're kind of easing us into what you have to offer.
Right, but you say you only heard 2 songs.
I've only heard 2 songs.
So you gotta listen to the rest of the album.
Because the album's out, Ebro.
It's
out right now.
So I'm gonna buy it right now.
Get on iTunes.
Hey, can we rewind a little bit? Because when I was asking about you, one of my girlfriends was like, yo, she's a YouTube kid. She's a YouTube kid. So she was telling me how your big break was when you covered a Frank Ocean record and it got like 22 million views.
Crazy. Yeah, I think that for sure was like my first viral video, whatever that
And for the record, my friend Dave Appleton, she'd already
name dropping.
She'd already been.
You can name drop him because he had a huge part in this.
And no one knows who he is. You're supposed to name drop people who deserve a shout out. So my boy Snuff, Dave Appleton, you'd already done Idol at that point, right?
Oh yeah, this was.
You'd already been a thing,
after.
and you'd already been signed. Like it's not like you were undiscovered at this point, correct?
Yeah, just kind of trying to figure out.
But you were figuring it out.
So your YouTube explosion was after Idol?
Not. Hold on, you're skipping.
Okay, sorry, go.
Dave did be clear. He didn't see her on YouTube. He saw her on World Star.
Oh God!
So that should be established as part of the story.
Does that make her credible? That gives her some hood cred?
Yes.
Fuck out of here.
She was right next to like a fight at a laundromat. It was her next to it. And so he saw you doing the Frank Ocean record, and then told Scooter about you, and then fast forward. How did that process then happen of you ending up over there?
So Appleton, this is cool to talk about Appleton. I love that guy. He showed Scooter that video, and Scooter was like, I got to get to a show. And I just so happened to have my very first show, just me and a guitar, that week. So I put out the video, and then it was like all this buzz around it and stuff. And so it was just at this small little lounge type of thing. It was like 50 to 75 people at the most, called Room 5 in LA. And Scooter couldn't get in to the show because the line was so long.
That's what you get, Scooter.
Take that. That hasn't happened in a minute.
And another shout out though, my friend from YouTube, Tim De La Ghetto, he was at the show, saw Scooter. They knew each other somehow, and he got him in to the show. And from there, we just he hit up, my people. My people hit up his people. No, but yes, that's what happened. It just sounded corny to say it like that. But no, we basically just got in touch, and I was a little hesitant at first, though. That's I think the part people don't realize, because I was at that point, since I had been signed before, and I had all these people around me in the past when I was like 12 years old, and I was just now finding out that I could do it all by myself with the YouTube stuff, and I was writing songs, and I was like getting this little fan base. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna be like this cool indie artist. And I was stubborn. I didn't want to let anybody in on it. And so I was hesitant at first, but after a few meetings, I was finally like, okay, it's time, I think, to really expand. And I know I can trust this guy. He was definitely showing that I could trust him. And he was so passionate about me as an artist. And he was like, I don't want to change anything you're doing. I just want to take it and just grow it and make it great. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Did you realize that he was like someone who, there aren't a ton of people in the business who have the ability to like really put a spotlight on someone and make them huge? Did you realize that's what might happen? Like that was a likely possibility?
I think that was part of the reason why I was hesitant, because I didn't want it. I feel like I had so much control by being just the girl on YouTube, and I could like do what shows I wanted and kind of keep it like my own little thing, you know. And I think by adding people to the team, even though that's really what I wanted, was to, you know, obviously get my music out to as many people as possible. I knew that was the ultimate goal, but I think there was something in me still that wasn't quite ready for that. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason, you know, so the timing of it, I'm happy that it went down the way it went down.
Well, your album opened #1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, things work out okay.
What rappers do you think tried to holler at her at the BET Awards?
Ooh, good question.
All of them.
All of them, right?
Especially after she came off stage. Every
Not
single
Meek.
one.
Not Meek.
Well, Meek don't want no problems. He don't want no problems. He's a lucky man. He don't want to screw that up.
Hey, do you want to play her record? Should we play her single?
I want to get to a record, but I also like the whole Temecula, California thing. I kind of wanted to go into that just because there was this big fight that started on the internet a few months ago. I don't know if you saw it, and it had to do with meeting someone in Temecula. Do you remember that?
No,
you never saw this. This dude put up this random song about Temecula, going at this sports blogger, and was really trying to knock his head off about Kobe Bryant. And so when you said Temecula, I've been sitting here like, yo, what is happening in Temecula, California? That A, there's mad thugs, and B, there's this amazing mixed girl with this amazing voice. Like, what is Temecula like?
Temecula, I mean, it's grown a lot since I've been there, but
and that's because people moving out of LA out into the
probably, yeah. And people know Temecula more for like the wine country and stuff. Like, and there's a casino out there, Pachanga. But it's for me, it's quiet because I mean, compared to LA and like New York and stuff, so it just feels a little like just enough outside of
and you prefer
the craziness. Yeah, I prefer that.
But it's very suburban, right?
Yes.
Like shopping centers.
Yeah,
like lots of Chi-Chi's and Applebee's.
Yeah, and Walmart.
Yeah.
Inland Empire is like the capital of Chi-Chi's in America. and Ruby Tuesdays on fleek in Inland Empire.
Are you constantly staying on tour now? Is that the drill for you?
I am, yeah. That's why it's weird to talk about Temecula even, because I'm like, wait, my house is like my suitcase right now. But yeah, I'm on tour right in the middle of it right now. I got a show in Toronto coming up, and then Boston. So I think there's gonna be some dates added too.
You be careful out there in that Toronto. You know who's out there?
Do I?
Drake.
Yep.
He's the only person out there.
He's the only person
he's
in Toronto.
He's in England today. She's safe.
She's safe.
Oh, okay.
He's taking pictures of Skepta.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You watch out for that Drake guy.
Speaking of guys you need to watch out for, how has young Biebs embraced you? How's your relationship with you guys have the same team now?
We do.
How's young Justin been?
Up until recently, actually, I never really saw him. Like, we were always just running around. Our schedules are so different. So, but he came to my album release party recently, and for the first time, we actually got to actually talk, which was cool, just like as humans. So this is nice. So, I mean, it was quick, but he's actually a really cool guy and really wise. I'm seeing too. Like, when you actually just get to talk to him like on a human level.
He's been through enough.
Well, about to say at this point,
he's got some things to say. I'm hoping that he writes more too. Like, he can really come out and write about just his life. So
is Ariana Grande side eyeing you? Sorry,
no, she's
stop. Hey, I saw that you opened up for Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran. How was that? What was that like?
Both super cool people, like super down to earth and chill. Ed is really funny. I don't think people realize like how hilarious he is. So that was cool opening for him, and he's a good friend of mine. And then Sam is just like the sweetest person ever, and I hope he heals up soon.
I wish, I gotta tell you, image-wise, I wish we found out Sam Smith was just like a raging dickhead.
Why?
Like, people said something, he's like, you know what, shut the fuck up, mate. Because you can tell he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
You can just see he's like the sweetest soul in the world. I wish he was just smacking the shit out of people.
It's so weird that you hope that people are mean.
I know.
But I know what you mean.
It's my own entertainment value.
Like, you want to find something wrong about them.
No, not bad. It's entertaining.
But when they are dickheads, he hates their guts.
Oh, yeah.
When they're a real dickhead and they're out here slapping the shit out of somebody, he's like, yo, he's...
Well, fine. How about this? I don't want Sam Smith to really be a dickhead, but I'd like for him to like do it and then turn around and look at the people like, isn't that awesome? And like kind of slap. Like, not really. Like, if when BET gave him the award, he tweeted back like, yo, fuck your award. Y'all don't invite me, I'm not coming.
No.
That would have been tight.
He answered back and he was really grateful. He's like, I wish it could have been.
And he was like, I felt unwelcome because I'm not black.
He didn't say that.
Tori Kelly, your inspirations vocally, like who's the preeminent vocalist
number one?
There's no way I could pick a number one.
All right, give me three. Give me three.
Okay, there's a gospel artists I grew up listening to, Crystal Lewis.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Kim Burrell, but Crystal Lewis.
Kim Burrell's definitely in there. You're only giving me 3. This is so hard. Jay Moss, too, another gospel artist. Jill Scott, I geeked out. She tweeted me after the awards. She was like huge inspiration for me.
Whoa, you geeked out. That
I geek out for different reasons around Jill Scott, but
calm down.
Sorry, man.
I love her.
She's talking about her breasts. Continue.
Continue.
India Irie, same. She tweeted me. I was it was a lot.
Who else tweeted
Yes,
you?
God. Yes, God.
Yes, God hands.
Yes, God hands for India Arie. I saw India Arie just recently do. It's this. It's just one hand. Like
just one.
This
hand.
is Yes,
Okay.
God. Right here. I saw India do. She did background vocals for Stevie on his tour. Oh my God.
When?
This last tour he did.
Oh,
She was in the Key of Life.
She was on every show. She did every guest vocal there was to do. Pretty much. India Arie did.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
and who else?
She was great.
Anyone else?
That I grew up listening to. Maxwell was a huge influence.
We talked about every one of these people today at length.
Really?
That's really funny. Yes.
Who else? I grew up listening to people like Jeff Buckley too. Once I started playing guitar, it was like Jeff Buckley, India, because she plays guitar. John Mayer, even. I just kind of filled my head with like as much.
So, but gospel and serious songwriters is your thing.
For sure, yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
And do you see yourself touring with any of your idols ever? Do you ever see yourself doing shows like that, doing like the real hardcore R&B, blues, or any of that circuit type shows?
Yeah, I mean, with
because
my
they have
music,
you listed as pop, so a lot of
Right.
people are gonna assume that you're not about that life.
No, I mean, I'm about that life. I feel like with my music, I would hope that I could go a few different directions, and I wouldn't have to be limited to just like the pop bubble thing.
You know,
But I think when people go to my shows too, you can
Right.
tell that there's more than just like the singles. You know, that was kind of just used to like launch everything. But there's once you peel back more layers, there's a lot in there.
How much did you write of your record?
All of it.
The entire album.
Yeah, the entire thing.
Vocal arrangements, everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I co-wrote with a lot of people, but I had to be a part of every single song.
It feels like you're the kind of person and you have the kind of resume and things set up where like a goal for you, and I know this is a high place, but let's be honest, you're starting out in a high place, is like a Best New Artist Grammy would be like a kind of dreamy situation for you. Would you say that's...
No, that's not a dream.
That's
of
something
mine
you
at
think of.
all. That's not.
I
I never think of that. Like,
is that
no,
on
that
your
would
radar
be-
though? Is it something that you're like, that's something I would love to actually make happen?
I mean, since I was a little girl, yeah, for sure. I think every artist would dream of that. You know, just even like my name next to the G word. Like I can't even say it. I can't even say it.
The G word is amazing.
Grammys. Yeah, I mean that would be a huge honor. For
What
sure.
about Ebro? Don't you think it'd be cool? Like, because she's obviously gonna get these like pop shows and stuff, but I think it would be super cool if, just like you mentioned, if on like the side of that, she went out and did 15 dates with Jasmine Sullivan. You know what I'm saying? And people like that. I think that would be so cool.
I love her.
Because you saw, as you saw on the BET Awards, like there's a lot of separation these days in music, and like people aren't getting exposed to a lot of stuff that should be right there for them to take. So,
Well, and unfortunately, because of our programming socially, right? Like we put these like racial constraints on everything, right? So
Yeah.
you walk out on stage on BET and everybody's like, "Who's the white bitch?" Of course, they put some white bitch on stage,
Yeah.
right?
I never heard that exactly.
Right, but
That was actually just Ebro. Was that your girl's voice? That was her on the
no,
couch.
she would
next
never
to
do
you.
that. She's on the other page, like,
know.
yo, she's probably gonna kill it right now, right?
Right.
But you know, that's the world we live
Yeah.
in, where you, in your vocal and the type of music that you're making, is put in a pop category. It's not put in an R&B category.
Right.
It's not put in any of these categories because pop is popular music. But unfortunately, there's people who see pop as just white, and they don't want to be associated with that, or they don't feel like they belong, right? And I think somebody of your caliber and your talent has the ability to break down those walls, and I hope to see that.
Thank you. That's.
I mean, I know it's a lot of pressure.
No, I mean that's
But
what I've
there's
always
So just fix the
listen.
racial boundaries in music. Thanks. All right,
yeah,
cool.
for sure.
There's
Got
no
it.
bigger pressure than walking out, basically, no one knowing your name, walking out
Right.
blind to do a tribute to Smokey Robinson on BET. Like,
Yeah.
you'll have no bigger pressure. If you didn't feel pressure in that moment, everything else, fuck everything else, doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Because Smokey Robinson is a super revered talent that like everyone cherishes, right?
I think it's because I got to actually meet and talk to Smokey too, that he made it seem so chill and like lighthearted. Like, did you guys hear his speech?
Yeah.
I was like, I was crying
yeah.
backstage. Like, this is amazing.
I was hoping. I kind of wanted to shorten it a little bit. It was a little
Ebro, we know.
No, it was. I didn't.
Diddy was crying too because his knee hurt while he was standing.
I was like, damn, he gonna keep going.
I liked his speech.
I loved it.
I didn't dislike it. Can we trim 5 minutes on that?
Me and Neo were backstage like, oh my gosh, preach. Like we were. Like,
so were you standing next to Neo and Robin Thicke as this is happening? Or
Robin
on the
Thicke
other
was
side?
on the other side. Me and Neo were on one
They
side.
separated the
Who
white.
went to the bathroom first? Who went to the bathroom first?
What do you think they went to the bathroom?
Somebody walked away because Diddy was standing behind.
You can't walk
Smokey
away.
Robinson.
They couldn't walk away.
Diddy on
he walked
camera
away?
left.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had nothing else to do. She had to come back out and sing again.
The guy was still speaking. Diddy's in the background,
His
straight
foot
face.
hurt.
Yeah, he's just falling in a hole, my man. He's tired.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't notice he walked away.
No, Diddy walked. He was like, all right.
You know what? This is nuts. What's the album called?
Unbreakable Smile.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unbreakable Smile.
Tori Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Give
Yay,
it up.
Tori.
Great talk.
Thanks,
Thank
Tori.
you.